Hey guys, Nikki here. Today I wanted to talk about some toddler hacks, just things that have made my life just a little bit easier. In some cases, they have saved my sanity on a bad day, and I wanted to share them with you guys in case you find them helpful. All right, so this tip is for all of you parents who don't have a good tub for your kids to take a bath in. So for the first year and a half of our daughter's life, we only had showers in our house. So what we did instead is we got this flexible, might have even been a dog tub, that I think most people use outside in the summer as like a kiddie pool, but we used that as her actual tub. Because it was flexible, it fit nicely in the shower. The biggest thing is you have to make sure that it air dries well, otherwise it can start to like mildew or develop a smell even if you're cleaning it. But in our case, we would just rest it on the stool that we had in that shower and it worked really, really well. An alternative to that is also you can just let them shower. So my daughter actually went through a phase where she did not want to sit in the tub. She exclusively wanted to hang out in the water falling from the shower head. So I finally just said, screw it, I'm just gonna let her shower. Sometimes I would block the drain temporarily with a washcloth so that we could get like bubbles and stuff in there, which made her all excited. But to this day, she loves taking a shower. And now when we travel, she's not dependent on having a tub or the shower. She is flexible with everything. So speaking of showering, if you are a relatively new parent, you probably understand the struggle that is trying to find uninterrupted time to shower. I know that my daughter used to scream when I was in the shower because she wanted to just be with me and I was, a whopping 3 feet away. Oh God, the horror. So I had to come up with something to entertain her. And what I did is I set aside a gallon size Ziploc bag of toys that lived in my master bathroom. She was only allowed to play with those toys when we were in the bathroom. And that made a huge difference because she was all, excited about the novelty of those toys, and it would keep her distracted for at least those like 10 minutes. We don't tend to have to do that as much now that she's a little bit older, but I'll typically grab a few books from her room, especially the ones that have little buttons that talk, because I don't let her read those at bedtime. They're just way too exciting. So I let her play with those while I'm in the shower, and then again, I have a pleasant experience. I don't have to worry about her wandering around the house since she now knows how to like open doors and go really wherever she wants. So keeps my sanity. So our daughter is a super picky eater, and I am not gonna pretend like I have solved that. In fact, please let me know in the comments what tips you have for picky eating, because goodness, it is tough sometimes. But one way that we have gotten to get our daughter to try new things is we will tell her that it is something that she already likes. So if you are familiar with parathas, which is like a flaky flatbread that you can get typically with Indian food, we got Nora to try that because we told her it was pancakes, and she loves pancakes. And so now she will just call them paratha pancakes. I was like, okay, Mom, like I'll accept this thing that you said was something that I already like. We tend to do that with anything that's a similar texture. So I'm pretty sure that's how we got her to try tortillas. That's how we got her to try naan. And I remembered this actually because my mom tried something similar with me when I was a little kid. She just called bologna flat hot dogs. And so I maybe wouldn't have wanted to eat this random lunch meat, but I loved hot dogs. And so when she called it a flat hot dog, I was like, cool, I'll definitely eat it. So I think it's a thing that a lot of parents do, but in case you haven't tried it, you definitely should. And then again, introduce the actual name. So I think now, instead of always calling it like paratha pancake, we will just call it paratha, because now she's familiar with it enough that she knows she likes it. Can we talk about how cute my cats are in the background here? I'm gonna block them. Just know that they're back there, chilling, having a nap. I wish I could have a nap too. If you have a toddler, especially if they can talk, I'm sure that you've had the experience of them going, mommy, 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 mommy. And you're like, oh my gosh, I cannot even think. They're just so desperate for your attention, and it's hard to even know how to fix it, because even if you give them a little bit of attention and you try to go back to whatever you're doing, it just doesn't seem to work. So the two methods that I have to deal with this depend on whatever just your situation is at the moment. So the one I prefer is giving her like 10 uninterrupted minutes of my attention. We will go, we will play with blocks, we'll go read a book or two, we go for a quick little walk in the backyard. We do something where my attention is on her. I'm not looking at my phone. I'm not trying to do any work. If she's, home with me that day, I'm not trying to, deal with something when I'm cooking. I'm just hanging out with her. And that has worked really well because I think she just wants the connection, and then she kind of resets and goes back and does her own thing. The second thing that I do is I give her a specific task. I will never forget when I was working from home with my sister-in-law, who also had her kid home that day. We just co-located to let the kids play. And my sister-in-law just gave her a dry sponge and was like, Nora, can you wash this bowl for me? And Nora just lit up, because kids love when you give them tasks. And she just, pretended to wash stuff. And I think my sister-in-law handed her a few things and she just pretended to wash things for a little bit. And again, it kind of broke the attention need until I was able to go back and actually spend some serious time with her. Both of those have helped a lot. And again, they've saved my sanity. I might do a deep dive video on just how I've survived working from home with a toddler, because I have done it a lot. There was actually 1 week where my husband was out of town and Nora was sick, and I worked from home with her the whole week. And I only had 1 or 2 instances where I cried in frustration, but I've done it. I've survived. So if you like any of those tips, let me know in the comments and I will consider putting that into the schedule. So in the realm of giving your toddler a task to do, when I am cooking dinner, I try to engage her as much as possible in the cooking process. It also sometimes helps with the picky eating. It's definitely not flawless. It'll usually get her to at least try a teensy bit of something, even if she won't actually eat whatever I made. Some tasks in particular that she's helpful with are peeling garlic. So especially if I've already done the whole crush with a knife trick to loosen it, she's really good at getting all of the garlic skin off. She will straight up get mad at me if I don't let her be the one to press the top of the blender to blend things. She's excellent at that. When I'm using measuring spoons and measuring cups, I let her be the one to actually empty it into the bowl. She loves that. I also let her sniff the spices before we use them. Anything that just engages her and makes her feel like she's part of the process is so much fun. And yes, it slows down the process, but it's worth it because we're all just a little bit happier by the time we get to the eating phase of the meal. Also, if your kid likes helping in the kitchen, we've always had the struggle of how to get our daughter to the right height in the kitchen. I really wanted to get one of those Montessori helping towers. Had trouble justifying the price tag because they often are $150 to $200. What I did instead is I have these little folding stools that we use in our bathroom so she can reach the sink and she can easily get on the toilet. And instead of getting something dedicated for the kitchen, we just bring those stools to the kitchen when she's there with us. They're easy to move around. It helps that my daughter is abnormally tall. She is over 3 feet tall. She only just turned 2 a month or 2 ago. So that does get her to the height where she can kind of see most things that's going on, or do the whole garlic peeling I was talking about. If there's something that she really needs to be up higher for, I supervised, of course, just let her sit on a bar stool, and I'm there with her, and then she can do the thing where she puts her hands on the blender and all of that. And since I'm supervising, I think it's fine, and then we just have her get down when we're done. So I know I just mentioned my bathroom stools. One thing that we did not get for our bathroom was a little kid potty. We have always just had Nora use the real toilet. At some point we had one of those seats that kind of goes onto the toilet and then has a little step stool to get up. But honestly, the real stool that we have is way easier for her to maneuver on. She was always a little shaky trying to get up on the toilet seat. And then at some point too, she just started to play. She would take the handles and push herself up really high on it and just wouldn't actually focus on using the bathroom. Whereas when we just plop her on the toilet, she did her business and it was no big deal. I kind of recommend that unless your kid is really scared of the toilet. It's made it easier because now when we go to a public restroom or something like that, sometimes she's weird just because it's a new place, but she's not scared of the toilet itself, which is really nice. Also, with potty related things, one thing I've done since Nora was really born is when she has a poopy diaper, I almost never wipe with a wipe first. I take off the front of the diaper where it's generally clean, sometimes it's not, but most of the time it's clean. And I do my initial wipe with the diaper and then tuck it over whatever poop is left in the diaper. And then I wipe everything else and then I kind of burrito the diaper together. It saves a couple wipes, I think, by just doing that initial big swipe. But also, one thing that we've gotten from his parents is we have actually installed a little bidet sprayer in my daughter's bathroom. So we'll do kind of like, initial wipes, whatever, just with toilet paper now that she's using the actual toilet a lot. But we're able to like actually wash her butt with the sprayer. And it's a huge help. She gets way cleaner. It's super hygienic. Again, you toddler parents have probably experienced the struggle of trying to get your kid dressed in the morning. Mine always just wants to stay in pajamas or just like hang out in a diaper, and we just can't go places naked or in pajamas. That's not the precedent that I want to set for her. So, we always want to get her dressed, but for me, the easiest way to do that is to give her like 2 or 3 options. This shirt or this shirt. And then she selects one, and it's a lot less dramatic than, if I pick one out for her and put it on. Sometimes girl ends up looking a little crazy because she'll pick wild combinations of things, but I don't really care. She's a toddler. She can wear whatever she wants, and it's her own expression. We don't use a traditional diaper bag anymore because once you get past the real baby stage, you don't need to bring as much stuff everywhere with you. Like, cause you're not gonna go through like 4 diapers while you're out typically, especially with a toddler. I've actually just learned to carry a lunchbox. I've gone through 2 different ones, and this one that we're using now has a big zip pocket in the front, 2 little side pockets, and then it's got like the lunchbox area in the middle. That front pocket is plenty of room to stash a couple diapers. The little pocket on the side is perfect for wipes. I can put like an extra dress or something on the other side if I really need an extra outfit. And then the things I'm bringing the most often are food and like milk or water. And all of that stuff I would rather have in like the lunchbox area where if it spills, it's really easy to clean it up. I really never have the need to have a different bag unless we're gonna be out literally the entire day or we're going somewhere special like the pool. And speaking of the pool and really just summer time in general, in the summer, I try to always have a swim diaper on us because I've learned you never know when a place is gonna have a splash pad. That sounds really weird, but I've been to a few restaurants that have them. We'll go to like the botanical gardens and not realize in advance that there's a splash pad there. And you just don't wanna get left like in a place where you don't wanna get your kids soaking wet, but like they really wanna play in the water. I know I have the swim diaper that I can change them into. It's nice to also have one extra outfit on hand so again, they're not soaking wet, but worst case scenario, girl rides home in a diaper in the car and it's not a big deal because again, she's 2, so who cares? One fun thing about 2-year-olds is that they are really learning how to talk. Our daughter has always been pretty verbal. She's definitely saying words around the 1-year mark. She currently speaks both Bangla and English, full sentences, translates between the 2 for us. It's fascinating. I don't know how a little kid can be so smart. One thing I think we did to reinforce her learning language, besides just talking to her all the time, because that obviously helps, is we asked her to say a lot of things. This sounds really simple, but I don't know if everyone does it. Like if we're going to the aquarium, for example, we won't just say, "Hey Nora, we're going to the aquarium today." I would be like, "Nora, we're gonna go to the aquarium. Can you say aquarium?" And she would say it. And then I would be like, "We're gonna see the fishies. Can you say fishies?" And she'd be like, "Fishies." And then I'd be like, "Do you know what fishies do? They swim." And then she'd be like, "Swim, fishies swim, fishies swim." And again, the constant like repeating really helped her pick up words super fast. Yes, it turned her into a little bit of a parrot, but I don't mind that personally, especially if she's learning a lot of things. Oh, look, they're still sleeping. My heart. I love when my cats sleep in the same room as me. I just think it's so special and cute. Well, for today, that's all I got. And I hope it was helpful. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. My goal with this channel is to make your life as rich as possible, both financially and personally. And a lot of that has to do with taking away the stress of little everyday things like these challenges with your toddler. Thanks again for stopping by, and I'll see you in my next one.